Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome to Outdoors with Larry Ray. Boy, we have sprung through the first segment talking about ICAST and Ron Wong and how many tennis shoes he went through down there. But glad to have you back, Ron.
Hey, it's good to be back, and we're going to be back for just about a couple of weeks, and then I am off.
Yes, you are.
Columbia, South Carolina, because there's a huge event that's going to be happening there in Columbia, there on Lake Murray, and that is the Forest Wood Cup, and I can't wait. I have to tell you, it's one of my highlights every year, something I look forward to. Not only to get to mingle with all of the wonderful professional fishermen there, but also they have a wonderful expo, and they got a lot going on. And you know what? We're going to start this show off this morning, Larry, with a guy that he helps put together a lot of stuff there for the Forest Wood Cup. That's our buddy Joe O'Pogger. Good morning, Joe. How are you?
I'm doing great, gentlemen. Good morning to you guys as well.
It seems like just yesterday we did this last year, Joe. So
yeah, it's becoming a bit of a tradition now. I love it.
It's something that Ron sets up, and the series of guests, and we appreciate you hanging out with us here, and because this kind of keeps guidance to us. And Ron, this first guest that you've hooked up out of Point, Texas. I don't know where Point, Texas. Got to be
close enough to Lake Fork.
I think it's got to be close enough to Lake Fork.
Absolutely.
If you're from Point, Texas, you're on the point. That's right.
And he is on the point because he knows the people to hang out with and how to catch a bass.
So introduce our next guest.
And that is Jeff Sprague. He is a Jean LaRue pro. And I got to tell you something. One fine gentleman. Had the opportunity to spend some time with him there at Toledo Bend here earlier this year. And great fun. Of course, saw him there at ICAST. Good morning, Jeff. How are you?
I'm good, Ron. How are you guys?
Well, we're doing great, and we appreciate you taking time to be on with us, too, because I know Ron's going to ask you about baits and stuff like that. I want to ask you, and Joe can say this, you've really – I looked on this thing and said 2011 FLW Co-Angler of the Year, and now you're in the Forest Wood Cup. So a lot of folks may not understand what co-angler means, to me, that's like we've got a fine AAA baseball team here. The Memphis Redbirds got the best record in all of minor league baseball, but you can't get to the big leagues unless you start sometimes to work your way up. So tell us what it means for you to be in the Cup this year.
You know, I've been very fortunate in my career, and FLW provides such a great platform to begin a career for international bass fishing, and that's honestly what I had done. Like you said there in the AAAs, I started out as a AAA guy down fishing the coast of in Texas and, so on and so forth, which allowed me to get my feet wet with FLW and the tournament trail itself and travel across the country with this organization. And like you said there, I was able to secure the Angler of the Year there as a non-boater, and which really kind of solidified what I wanted to do and gives you the reassurance that you can compete. And, now I'm on my fourth year as a professional. I've spent a couple of years in the back of the boat as a non-boater, and this will be my second consecutive Forest Wood Cup as a professional.
Wow!
And there's it's everything that you could ever want it to be. It's such a dream come true, and I'm extremely blessed and lucky to be a part of an organization like FLW and to be able to fish. The world's best bass fishing organization and the biggest tournament in the world. So. That's all there is to it. I'm extremely lucky, and I'm super excited to get to Murray in a couple of weeks and see what we can get done over there.
Jeff, this is your third Forest Wood Cup, if I'm not mistaken. You still got the jitters?
No. I can't say it's the jitters. Obviously, there's always nerves there when you fish in any type of major event, and to get to go to a cup, something as prestigious as that, you always have the nerves, and the excitement of that opening presence on Christmas morning as a school kid, So that's always, and the competition fuels our fire and things like that. But honestly, at this point in your career, you start leaning a few years in, you want to win one of these deals. That's what we go for. We want to win it. That will change your career. That'll change your life. And, so you bear down and you start putting in the book work, when I'm not necessarily book work, but just like in school, when you're a freshman in school, you're excited to be there. You're kind of feeling your way around. And then as you get to become a sophomore, junior, and a senior, you start figuring those things out. And you try to figure out how it is that you can do better or you make that next step. And I feel like I'm there. I want to figure out how to make that next step.
Lake Murray, it's a blueback herring lake. And, obviously you'll have numerous baits and everything else to emulate the blueback herring. But, one of the things I thought about, Jeff, was the Jean LaRue Magnum Tattletale worm. You think that's going to play a part?
Well, I wish you wouldn't talk about it on the radio, too.
Hey, Joe, he's letting out secrets here, Joe. So let's, no.
Absolutely. LaRue's released a tattletale worm. It's been out for a little bit of time now. Major success on that worm. It's in that clear water. It's got detail, and it has a little bit of it has movement that other baits don't have. And when the fish get finicky, it triggers bites when other worms won't. The realistic characteristics of that bait they're awesome. And so I'm excited to have it. I'm excited to have it in my hands to be able to go to the Cup and see if we can't do something with it out there.
Lake Murray also is a clear water lake. That means there's probably going to be some finesse fishing. How about that inchworm?
You're giving away all his secrets, Ron. Joe's going to cut us off here, right, Joe? We got to watch out what we're saying here. There's people.
This is why Ron's one of the best in the business. He asks the tough questions.
Yeah, he does that. Go ahead, Jeff. So talk about that inchworm.
Y'all going to send me out there with nothing, guys. Okay, so an inchworm is basically it's a finesse worm. All it is that we can use on a small jig head, and we can pinch that thing down to the exact size we want every time because it has markers on each side of it. We have the best colors available, but in a finesse situation, which we will force with at Murray, I'm at such an advantage having those baits in my boat that I almost would feel sorry for a guy if I wasn't fishing against it.
Well, I know. And again, we're talking to Jeff Sprague, and we've got not only that, but we've got our interpreter in the room here, letting out all the secrets. But we also have Joe Apugger on with us. And Joe, I've got to ask you, as we kick off this show today, you guys have had a great year. I've looked back over some of these things, and it's really been a good year for the FLW. And I know you've already announced next year's schedule. We might mention that, too, that you're rolling this, and Lake Murray and Columbia have really opened the door for you guys, haven't they?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's definitely one of our favorite late summer destinations. This will be the third time that the Forest Wood Cup has visited Lake Murray. Mm-hmm. We've been there twice before, once in 2008, and then, of course, in 2014. And, it's just got everything that we're looking for as far as a city that can host the Cup. It's got a great fishery, great facilities, a great arena and a convention center where we can hold our big expo and our Bass and Barbecue Festival. So, yeah, we definitely love going back to Lake Murray, and we're really excited to be there.
What are some of the things that we're going to have at the Forest Wood Cup that people can look forward to?
Oh, there's so much going on. In addition to the fishing tournament, as you mentioned, we've got a huge expo. Over 100 exhibitors are going to be showing off and selling tackle there. And it's going to be, your first opportunity after the big ICAST show last week to get and buy a lot of these new baits. So we've got that going on. We've got Bass and Barbecue Festival with barbecue teams from around South Carolina.
I've missed that every year.
Well, don't miss it this year, Ron, because it's an.
Well, I'm out working. I'm trying to
he uses that word again.
Pictures.
Working, but these guys that fish this are really friendly people persons, aren't they? I mean,
absolutely. The FLW Tour pros are some of the nicest people in the world. I get to work with them, year round on interviews like this, and there's no better group of guys. You can approach them at tournaments. They're happy to share their secrets in person and explain what they're doing. And sign an autograph or take a photo, these FLW Tour pros absolutely are top notch.
I think that's what sets an event like this, and Ron will say this. He spent all at ICAST, and you had a better deal than he did. But I'm telling you that you got a chance to talk to him. But these guys are standing around; they'll talk to you when you're at the expo or something along that line. And you guys, I don't know how much. What does that mean, the economy, for, say, the FLW to come to Lake Murray?
Oh, it's huge for the local economy, We've got a big circus, that I like to call it, that we bring to town.
It's just like,
we've got, 50 to 60 staff members, 53 anglers and their families.
Yeah.
And then, of course, all the fans that come into town to watch. Everybody's staying in hotels and eating at the local restaurant. There's lots of money coming into the local economy. And, Columbia, South Carolina was happy when we announced that we were coming back this year.
Now, have you announced next year yet? You will do
Not
that?
yet. We will be announcing on
at the
Cup. I've heard some
It's
rumors.
at the Cup.
You heard some rumors? Yeah.
Nothing's been confirmed yet.
Okay. And I know that Jeff, have you figured out the mileage from Point, Texas to Columbia, South Carolina yet?
No, I tell you, on my pickup truck, it just says a long way.
That's really what it is. But
hey, Jeff, you can't do this by yourself. You have to have some wonderful sponsors. What are some of those sponsors that really help you out?
I appreciate that, Ron. I really do. And, there's so many people that help us get there, from individuals to companies. First of all, we can't be here, and we couldn't do any of this without FLW and their support and their
absolutely,
and they're putting these events together and things like that. So, but my big sponsors that really have, and I say sponsors, I'm just lucky to be a part of these companies like Gene LaRue.
Yeah,
Gene LaRue is one of the oldest and the finest bait companies in the fishing industry. They're innovative. They continue to come out with new baits that guys, that use and don't even want to talk about because they're so good. Like we talked about the paddletail worm and the inchworm, and the new rock banger that they came out with at ICAST.
Yep.
The soft plastic, swim bait that everybody needs to really look at. That'll be released soon. Miller Coors, Keystone Light's a big sponsor of mine. It's even though it's a beer company, sometimes they're still about the outdoors and the fishing industry. That's a huge supporter. So those type of things, and then. Last but not least, things like 6 Cent Lure Company.
Right.
We're an innovative company that do a lot of crankbait designs. We have a new rod line that we released at ICAST for all the crankbaits. If anybody's familiar with 6 Cent crankbaits, huge deal.
It's a huge one, buddy. That sounds like something I usually catch.
Yeah. I mean, so one of those. We have a lot of companies, a lot of people that we thank. So those are huge deals. A lot of fishing companies in the industry, like Angler Hub and P-Line, and then like we have the Wrap Garage that does our custom wraps on our boats.
Oh yeah,
all these things that come together, and we appreciate it, and we appreciate everybody that comes to these events, that comes and that listens to the radio shows, send in questions. Everybody is somebody in the sport, no matter what, because we all have that in common.
Well, we
bump into us at the gas stations on the lake.
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. It's a big deal.
You guys do go to the gas station, I know. So that's you help the economy a lot for sure.
We don't go past me with it.
Yeah, that's right. Jeff, appreciate you, buddy, for being on today's show. Wish you nothing but success. And Ron, we'll see you over there.
At the Cup.
And we're going to take a break right now. Joe's going to hang on. Jeff, you have a great one, and we'll be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray with the General. If we can hook up with Larry Nixon, he's always on the water. He may be in his tub right now. I don't know. We'll get back, though. We'll take a break. Be right back on ESPN 790, Outdoors with Larry Ray.
You can find out